Tasting and evaluation. So we're going to hit the order of operations, techniques, setting, and tools, as well as the deductive beer tasting method, and then hit normal beer flavors and their sources. Sort of review that stuff. All right, so the components of evaluation, the order of operations that you should do with every single beer is the same. Okay, appearance, aroma, taste, if you want to call that flavor, you can, but just know the difference between taste and flavor. And then mouthfeel and aftertaste. So every beer is evaluatable about each of these 5 aspects. So you will follow the same order of operations every time, and it's going to become second nature. So key evaluation techniques. This is sort of your setting, your tools, and techniques and things like that. So first of all, you want a setting that's quiet, odor-free, and distraction-free. Is a crowded bar on a Friday night a fantastic setting for proper evaluation of a beer? No, it's not. Can you do it? Yes. But if you're really going to nerd out about beer, or if you're in a testing situation, for instance, you're going to be in a room that is quiet and distraction-free and odorless and not too noisy and things like that. You also want to make sure that there's good light so you can assess the beer's color and its clarity. Your number one tool is glassware or plasticware. I don't really care whether it's glass or plastic, but you just need to be able to see through the beer. So drinking a beer out of a can, drinking a beer out of a bottle, you're missing out on a lot of the aromas and the ability to assess appearance. So you need to decant, if you want to be fancy, decant your beer, otherwise known as just pour it into a glass or pour it into a plastic cup. So stick your nose all the way in if you want. You can take one big sniff if you want, but that tends to kind of overwhelm your nose. First of all, you're breathing in alcohol, and alcohol can numb some of your olfactory neurons. So another way of doing it is the quick, short sniffs. I'm doing it auditorially, I'm doing it loudly so you can hear it, but you don't actually have to make noise if you don't want. But take quick little sniffs, and it tends to keep the smell a little bit more refreshed when you are smelling it. If your nose goes dead if you've been smelling a beer for a minute and just trying to get everything out of that aroma, you might need to reset your nose. Smell your sleeve, smell your skin, smell something else that's not beer, and you will then be able to go back to the beer with a fresher nose. Another thing you can do is put your hand over it, or a piece of paper, something like that, to trap in the aromas and let it warm up a little bit. However, what's your hand smell like? Did you just wash it? Does it smell like flowers and soap and all that stuff? Have you been driving? Does it smell like the steering wheel? You know that you may be adding aromas to the beer. Also, if you use a piece of paper, paper has aroma as well. And then also, when you taste the beer, make sure it hits all parts of your tongue and swallow it, okay? Spitting wine is common. Spitting beer, you're missing out on half of the experience of the beer. So it's really about that aftertaste. It's about how the carbonation affects the flavor as you swallow it. It needs to hit back deep in your throat, and then you need to be able to breathe out afterwards to get that retronasal olfaction. So it really does help to swallow it. And then the nose trick, know how to delay exhalation. Okay, remember I keep saying flavor is a combination of taste and aroma. How do you get taste and aroma apart from each other? How can you isolate them? The best way to do it is delay your exhalation. So the nose trick is this. Plug your nose. It's pretty dorky, but plug your nose. Take a sip. Keep your nose plugged. Swallow the beer. How bitter is it? How sweet is it? How sour is it? Then breathe out through your nose. And that's where you get the aroma of the beer. And so what you do is you delay the aromatic information from hitting your brain, and your brain just focuses on the tastes. And then when you've assessed those tastes, then you can hit breathe out and hit your brain with the fresh burst of aromatic information. So that's super handy. It is dorky doing this, so you can get good at doing it without just, swallow and don't breathe out afterwards. And you can do it without having to pinch your nose. And then aftertaste, the flavor perception continues after swallowing. All right, so appearance, aroma, taste, mouthfeel, aftertaste. How do you fill in the blanks? What do you taste for in a beer? How do you organize all the information? How do you use data to deduce what the beer is? And how do you communicate consistently with other professionals about beer? The deductive beer tasting method is the answer. So I developed this thing called the deductive beer tasting method. It is its own separate thing from this course. It's not, you don't need to know it for the certified Cicerone exam. It's completely separate. This guy So I'm not really going to cover it much, but I do want to kind of tease at it here. It's the main element of it is this grid. It's sort of like a worksheet that you can fill out about a beer, so you never miss anything about a beer. It takes you through the steps you need to know, and it hones your palate, helps you become a thorough taster, or a through taster if you look at the slide there. Helps you become a thorough taster and connect the dots between traits, technique, and quality. It offers an organized sensory evaluation that evaluates each of a beer's traits on its own. And it encourages logical deduction of a beer's ingredients, process, and condition, and enables assessment of quality. And it's going to allow you to learn even more from your beer, and it's like getting to know an old friend all over again. So head to richhiggins.com/dbtm if you're interested in this stuff. Here's a little teaser at it. We assess the beer temperature, appearance, the color, the clarity, sediment poured, foam color, head retention, any other comments about the appearance. Then move into the aroma section, off aromas, aromatic intensity, grains, breads, sugars, nuts, cacao, coffee, roast, floral, herbal, tea, pine, fruit, and fruit condition.